Adam is out in the field of Georgia, downtown Atlanta, and yeah,
Yeah, we're
hanging
down
out
in
at the
Centennial
protest.
Park. So we started at the Capitol, and then we walked over to Centennial Park, and it looks like we're walking back to the Capitol. Um, there's a decent amount of press here, so I don't know. It's going pretty well, I think.
Excellent. What types of signs have you been seeing?
A lot of fuck Trump, fuck fascism, but a lot of trans people too. Let me see if I can spin this around. I don't know how to do that, so
That's
I guess
okay.
I'll just.
It's live TV, baby.
It's live TV. But yeah, our flag is flying. Do you see it?
I
No.
do not. Oh, there it is. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So we got some pictures of that in front of the Capitol building, and there's still more people showing up. So it's a first attempt. Like it's a smaller group, but if we want more, we have to show up. Um,
Yeah.
so I'm really excited about it. I'm excited about it.
That looks great. I am remembering, or I think I'm remembering from the last administration, or the last time Trump was in office, that this is sort of the pace at which the momentum gathered then as well. We
Yeah,
weren't ready
yeah.
out the gate.
We weren't ready. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like we started out at this rally talking about just the sheer lack of ability to communicate with each other and trying to
Yeah.
figure out how to organize. So there's that. So yeah, we
Right.
have to start here and just kind of like with Trans Joy, right? Pick a time, pick a place. We're gonna be
Yeah.
there and we're gonna be loud.
That's
And
right.
that's what they have done, and I am proud of them.
Heck yeah.
And I'm proud of us for being here too.
That's
Um,
more people than honestly I expected to see for this first go. So that's great.
yeah, it's really great. It's really great. And marching from the Capitol down past what used to be the CNN Center. Um, yeah, lots of honking and stuff. So that's good. It's good.
Yeah. About what's the distance between where the capital is and where you're at right now?
It's about a mile. Um,
Okay.
yeah,
It was a
so
good
it's
march.
it's a good enough march. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I don't know if we'll think I should record that. Well, probably not.
Say that
Or what do
again.
you think? Do you think I should record us walking back?
Yeah, I think that's great. I mean,
Okay.
people pop in, pop out. That's totally fine. It's
Yeah, yeah. At least
you
you
and I
can
have
see
talked.
what's going on down here.
Yeah, and you and I have talked a lot about the need for recording our various
Well,
pieces of our histories. So I think,
yeah,
yeah,
nobody's recording this, so we have to record our own
yeah,
histories, right?
agreed. Yeah, I love it. So as you've been talking to folks, what's the sentiment been?
Um,
Like, or maybe a better question. Oh, I think we just lost him. It's not a surprise that. Oh,
sorry,
there he is. He's
there I
back.
am. There I am. I'm sorry. I don't know. There
Oh,
was an upload problem.
oh, you're okay.
Um,
You know me, Adam. I have no problem rambling if you disappear.
that's true. That's true.
Oh, he disappeared. Okay. So yeah, I was asking sort of what the energy is, what the energy level is.
It's good. The energy is good. It's a little. I think we're all just a little nervous, right? I think that we've talked about that. That there's a underlying fear that we're not used to, that we haven't had in a very long time. Not to be the old man on the block, but
You're being called.
they want us what? Oh, okay. Hold on. We're going to the front.
Yeah.
Will you
All right.
talk to?
Yep, I got it.
Hi. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh, but you.
That's our friend Bree.
Your ears are clean.
Oh, he had
Hello?
earbuds in.
He did. I was
Hi,
like,
Bree.
I can't.
Sorry, I was like, would you like to introduce yourself? And there was nothing. Yeah. So tell us who you are.
I'm Bree. I am essentially Adam's sister-in-law,
Yeah.
and we're here today with a coworker of his, Toller,
Heck
and all these people. Somebody just put up this sign. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Outstanding.
Yeah. There's some helicopters and stuff overhead, so
Yeah, I've already seen some articles coming out online about this event happening, so that's pretty cool.
Well, and we extended, I don't know if you can see, let me make sure you can. We extended the Trans Joy flag, so that's why they were like, that flag's big and high. Let's put it in the front.
I love that so much. And the fact
So-
that there's support for getting it up there is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. What Bree, from your vantage point, y'all did that walk from the Capitol to where you're at now.
Mhm.
What's the energy been?
I mean, it's pretty calm. People are cheering. We're getting some honking. They reiterated again that it's a peaceful protest, that we don't have a permit, so we're staying on the sidewalks.
So make good choices.
And there's people, it's a family. There's people here with little kids.
Oh, I love
There's
that.
people here in their wheelchairs. There's people here with their pets. We've got really good photographers out here doing documentation, taking
Awesome.
video.
Excellent.
So, and I don't know if Adam told you he had a little conversation with somebody from CNN, so that was neat.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's
so
great.
yeah, now we're kind of, oh, there's a speaker. Now we're starting to move. You want me to turn around so that everybody can see?
Yeah, sure. Oh wow. That's quite a few folks.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
there goes Adam right in the front. He's about
That's
to
our
clip
guy.
That sign. Yep, that's our guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
good.
love
He
it.
made it without clipping. Yep.
So something I'd love to share with folks about Bree is that she is the person that if there's going to be any sort of protest or any sort of march, I want her with me because she ain't messing around. You don't mess with Mama Bear
Yeah.
Bree.
I'm a cis white lady. I will go to jail. I do have bail money, and no, I don't care.
That's right. And a first aid kit. That's right.
And a first aid, I am fully prepped with
That's
all
exactly
of my
right.
medic training stuff. So,
Bree is
but I don't think we're gonna need it today.
No. Bree is one of those amazing humans that will use their privilege for good.
Thanks,
Well, for
Cal.
everybody else's good. I don't know if it's about for her good.
Probably not for my good, but that's okay. I have enough good for myself.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So where are y'all headed to now? Back to the Capitol?
We're headed back to the Capitol, and now that we've got another larger group, we've got more news crews out.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see that guy.
Yeah.
So trying to see like who this is. 11 Alive.
11 Alive.
11 Alive. And so an NBC. So
Awesome.
it's good.
And I'm hearing some chanting. Are you able to translate?
Right now they're doing stand up, fight back.
Excellent.
Earlier they were doing protect trans kids. This
Awesome.
gentleman right here in the cowboy hat said that he was happy to take a bullet if needed, which is really intense, but
Yeah.
okay,
That's intense.
it is. And like there's you can see there's little kids.
I love it.
Yeah. So
You know,
this is,
what's
it
interesting.
started-
Oh, sorry.
no,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I checked out this spot earlier because Adam wasn't sure. There were mixed reports on where to meet. There
Yeah.
wasn't anybody here, so we went to the Capitol. And my first drive around the Capitol, there were like maybe 40 people. My second drive around, there were like 80-ish people.
Yeah.
And then when we got there, it was closer to like 50 who maybe came over here. And then when we got here, I would say there's easily 150, 200 people here.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, so some articles had already gone out because every press junket is trying to beat each other out there. And they were reporting, there's been a couple dozen, folks out there. So I was
Yeah.
surprised to see this. This is really great. Adam and I were saying that the first administration, it took a little bit of time to get this to get momentum. And it started like this. And so we're kind of organizing, getting our poop in a group, as it were, and it's great seeing folks coming together. The other thing I thought was really interesting, and I'd love to get your take on this, is that in the articles that I was looking at, they never mentioned anything about people protesting for trans rights. They only talked about protesting Musk, which look. Valid. That also needs to happen.
Sure.
So it sounds like there's been more of that than what's been reported, though. More of the chanting for trans as well.
Yeah, there have been some chants for trans individuals, for trans kids. And now we're just, kind of alternating back and forth. But there's a large contingent, like someone came around and gave us this flag.
Oh, I love that.
And there's plenty of other people that have trans signs with them, protect trans kids, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
And like looking at it now, I'm kind of in the road, which is a little dangerous, but I don't know if you can see, we're at least a block long at this
Oh gosh.
point. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for anybody that might be joining us late in this, well, it's not late, in this live broadcast, just to catch you
we're
up.
live right now?
Yeah, we're live.
Great! Didn't know that.
You're looking cute.
Oh, I mean, I did not plan for this today. I did because I wasn't sure what kind of protest it was going to be once Adam said he wanted to go. I was like, well, let me go get a black shirt and a black
Right.
hoodie.
Yep.
But then it is not needed today.
Yeah, well, and that's great news. We love knowing that. Again, this is our friend Bree, who is Adam's sister-in-law and our resident cis white queer privilege user, and she will not let anybody get in between her and the folks that she's looking out for. So yeah, we're live from protests down in Georgia. There's protests going on all around the country. There are supposed to be meetings at every one of the 50 state capitals. This is one of them, and right now we're with Bree as she's marching with Adam, although Adam has been asked to take off with the big tall trans joy flag, which is awesome. And
he's like a block and a half ahead of me now, so
we may never see him again.
I mean, you will, but maybe not for this live. I am out here protesting. I will use my body, but I am not running. I draw the line at running, so I'll catch up to him when I catch up to him.
I will use my body, but I won't be running.
Will not be running.
I think that might be our next Trans Joy T-shirt.
I will use my body, but I'm not running.
That's right. I love it.
Oh man.
So, what got you to come out to the protest today?
Honestly, Adam. He messaged me and Abby and asked if either of us wanted to go. I don't think his coworker was going to go with him at that time.
Yeah.
And Abby did not want to go. She's a little too anxious for that.
Yep.
And I was concerned because it wasn't super organized.
Yeah.
But I didn't want him to go alone. And I have some amount of training and privilege, so I was like, well, I'm already in the city doing something else, so I'll just stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little more about what kind of training you had? I remember you going through that a
so
little
back
while ago.
in, I think it was 2020. It was 2020. I did some medic training, just like street medic training, nothing super formal, but I keep my kit in my car all the time. So I know what to do for tear gas. And
Yeah.
now, because of school, I know where all the important arteries are, and I have lots of tourniquets. So if things were to go really awry, I am prepared.
We were joking the other day about how Bree is very excited to use the tourniquet kit. I say excited, air quotes.
So excited. I just have had them for 4 years now, and I haven't had a chance to use them, which is great.
You know what?
Great that I haven't had a chance.
It's great that today's not the day. Yeah.
Yes, it is great that today's not today.
Yeah. So, what's being chanted now?
Some more stand up, fight back.
Okay.
So there's a small contingent of like some punk kids who are young and excited and loud and really love to say fuck Trump, which I am here for. You know, that first part of that sentence is my favorite word.
I know.
But I think because it's lacking any real leadership, there's a little bit of a lack of cohesion.
Okay.
but I think we'll get there. And this is
That's how these
really
things start.
heartening. Well, and it's heartening to see all of this. I went to my first PFLAG meeting the other day
Oh, yeah. Tell me about that.
and connected with some moms. So I have 2 kids,
Yep.
and they're both trans. And I wanted to just be more connected to moms that were experiencing the same kind of fear that I'm experiencing.
Mm.
And so I went to the meeting and I met some incredible people, and some who do a lot of advocacy work at the Capitol.
Okay. Wow.
So they're very connected to what bills are happening when. One of them has a trans daughter. She's 13.
Oh, wow.
She transitioned socially when she was 7 in Marietta, Georgia.
Yeah. Wow.
So they're having to deal with a lot of stuff now. They have to get her medication out of state.
Yep.
And there's some issues with the school board. And so her mom and her dad are very adamant about their advocacy, and they're a good outlet for knowing when bills are going to come.
That's amazing.
And just learning a lot about how that process works.
Yeah.
And I was just so ignorant. I didn't know that, they'll tack something onto a bill that's going to be voted on like 10 minutes before the vote.
Yeah.
And so this is good for the walking and the shouting and just the presence.
Yeah.
So right now they're shouting. Can you hear it?
Only a bit.
No KKK, no fascist USA, no K. And so
I can get behind all of that.
yeah, me too, right? But seeing people that are down here doing this, and if this is what it looks like when it's not organized, I have to think about what we could do if we were organized.
Right.
And, there are groups, individual groups that are out here at the Capitol. I mean, we're at the Capitol or walking back to the Capitol today, but there are groups that are out here every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every day at the Capitol, there's a group of transparents. I think the organization is actually called Transparent.
That's perfect.
There's people from the Human Rights Campaign and the ACLU that are at the Capitol talking to people after they vote on bills or before they go in or all of that, like every day. And so I think that's kind of my takeaway for this is like, whatever issue is important to you, they're all important, but whichever one you're going to kind of hold on to, if you get that level of involved, if you can.
Yeah. Yeah. I was hearing from, I think it was politicians. I can't remember what I was listening to, but hearing that truly the most effective way to make your voice heard is to be physically present and to be audible. I'm not saying not to sign the petitions online. I'm not saying not to do those things because every little bit does matter. But the most effective way to show that, hey, we've got a problem with what's going on is being visible to our politicians and to our local politicians. And that really does make a difference. I mean, you've seen some of the things that Trump and his cronies have done in the last couple of weeks now. And a handful of those things, because there was a presence, like a vocal presence, and folks really pushed back hard on it. They backed off of it. And so, it is going to take us being persistent. It's going to take us being present. And there's some very enthusiastic folks I'm hearing.
Yeah. Well, we're right near Grady. So
Okay.
There's a lot of, we're near the old underground.
Okay, yep.
So there's a lot of people experiencing homelessness that are lending some of their voices. Every voice counts.
Excellent. Get on in there.
Right.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Can
This is.
we talk about Can we talk about the number of hills in Atlanta?
Yeah,
What a hill.
this is Bree is adding to the protest sound.
Protesting the hills in Atlanta.
Right. Again, for anybody joining us recently, we are with Bree and Adam. Adam is now at the front of this protest. There's protests going on in all 50 states at all 50 state capitals, and Bree is marching with Adam from, I think it was Centennial Park, back to the Capitol.
All right, so we started at the Capitol and we marched from the Capitol to Centennial.
There it is. Okay.
And now we're coming from Centennial back to the Capitol.
Yeah, and it sounded like, Bree, it sounded like there were just a handful of folks out there when y'all first rounded the Capitol, like, and now you've got a couple hundred, it looks like.
Yeah, maybe like 50, and now I'd say there's about 200.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yep, and it's staying super peaceful, super respectful.
Great.
Let me see if I can just... So I'm like kind of in the middle.
Okay.
But you can see it's just going and going and going and going.
Man, that's great. Yeah, well, and y'all are staying on the sidewalks because of no permit, right? So it's...
No permit, so we're on the sidewalk.
Nice long line.
Yep.
Do you have a sense for, I think you touched a little bit on, like, PFLAG, and we love PFLAG. They're one of the coolest organizations around. Do you have a sense for any other organizations that are out there right now?
I don't see PFLAG here right now. Like, this doesn't look to me like a lot of organizations. This is individuals.
Okay.
Which, again, is really, really heartening.
You know, talk about the opportunity, like you said. Imagine what it can be once our organizations are able to come together and really coordinate.
Well, and I think that so much of the way that we have communicated in the past is tied up in Facebook and Meta stuff, that it can be just really like nervous to communicate on those. I'm so sorry, we just had an all-hail Trump driver, and everyone that I am around did exactly what they should do and just ignored him completely. So,
great. Brilliant.
Good job.
Honestly, well done, everybody.
No one paid him any attention.
I love it.
But I think that getting organized on some alternate platforms like Signal and Telegram are probably the way to go because they're encrypted. Even WhatsApp right now is, I think, owned by Facebook.
Yep, it is.
So its encryption isn't really safe. And I don't know that we're quite in that point where we have to be like super worried about that, but I'm also not convinced that we're not going to get there.
Well, you know, you make a really good point. If you look back at the very recent moves that Meta just made around removing constraints around how people can even speak about trans folks, immigrants, and whatnot, marginalized communities, but very specifically they called out those two populations in saying, essentially, you can say what you want. You know, what does this cause?
You're welcome. You're very welcome. Something
I love it. Welcome to Atlanta.
Ready, baby?
Our local sounds, we love it. You know, Meta, having made that move, has caused, unsurprisingly, a lot of disjointedness within the community. A lot of folks have left. A lot of folks aren't paying attention to those spaces in the way that they once were. A lot of folks are, to your point, being careful about what they're posting. Other things are getting drowned out algorithmically because of the way that, because of the impact that allowing other types of language in those spaces are causing causing visibility issues. So yeah, it does not surprise me at all that we require a little bit of reconfiguring how it is that we chat.
Yeah. I mean, especially for I'm gonna call us out, Cal. Especially for people who are like us, who are older.
Yeah.
And you know, maybe don't use the TikTok or any of these newfangled apps so much. But even there, because it was saved by dump or whatever that narrative is, even there, it's questionable as to what you can and cannot say. It took me
Right.
fucking forever to figure out what winter boots meant. Like, everyone was like, check out these winter boots. Aren't they great? And I was like, what?
I think I've missed this.
Yeah, it's a way to say, like, we're doing some groundwork. We're going to be in the streets.
I love that.
Like, someone sent a thing, it was like, there's going to be these great winter boots on sale in downtown Atlanta on February 5th.
Oh,
It took me a
wow.
minute to figure some of that out.
Yeah.
Once I did, it was pretty obvious, but I didn't know what the hell was going on.
I mean, that's what our
So-
communities have been doing. The queer community at large, the trans community, have been doing forever and ever. Like the language evolves, the way that we communicate with each other evolves. We lose one space that's safe, that we made safe, and then we create another. I was just talking to Adam earlier today about the diversity within this community. There's every skill set in this community. If we could, continue to build on that community and pull each other closer together. I literally said to Adam earlier today, I was like, we've got the older folks who have been through some of this before. Adam has had the experience of having to go, to another, drive forever and ever to go find a doctor that'll treat him.
Yep.
We have folks who have lived that and can help us figure out ways around the things that are happening right now. And then we've got the younger folks, to your point, who have their thumb on the technology and are building a lot of that technology and can help lead the way in, hey, look, here's the new space for us.
Right.
We've got a lot of really brilliant minds that we just need to bring together.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's happening.
It is, and I think, not discounting the experience of the older generation, when I was at that PFLAG meeting, there was an older lady there. She was probably my mother-in-law's age, I'd say, like in her mid-70s. And, she has 2 queer kids, one trans son, and then a queer daughter. And they're in their 30s now. So she started doing PFLAG back in the 90s and then took a break because things were better.
Right.
And then realized they're not and she needs to come back. But anyway, she was telling us that she has 2 friends, lesbians, who were at Stonewall.
Wow.
And they were kind of talking her down and saying, like, this is shitty. We've done it before. We were fine. We'll do it again. And
Yep.
so to hear that from somebody who has truly lived the first revolution, if you
Yeah.
will, brings some amount of peace, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
What would you say to somebody who, might think that we are catastrophizing, that we're overreacting? Like, how do you handle that conversation?
I would say that's probably what some people were told at the beginning of the Holocaust. I saw a really kind of powerful video, and I'll try to find it and share it with you, but it was some guy, some influencers TikTok, and he made a statement about how people were being taken from their homes in the night and harassed on the streets and blah, blah, blah. He gave no context. Whew, sorry, I'm a little out of breath.
Oh, you're okay. It's
And
if you haven't been to Atlanta, it's hillier than you think it's going to be.
hills, a lot of hills.
It's so many
I
hills.
also have not been going to the gym, but I think I need to have a physical revolution so that I can stand up and fight back. Because this current body isn't going to kick anybody's ass. I could just sit and like hold them, and then they wouldn't be able to move. But that's kind of about it.
I love you so much, Bree.
I love you too.
This
but
current body
he-
isn't kicking anybody's ass.
No, it's kicking my own. So he made this. He read this bit of information with no context, and then somebody responded and said, like, "That's not what's happening," blah blah blah. And he came back for his follow up, and he said, "It's interesting that you thought I was talking about what's happening right now. Because what I was actually doing was reading an excerpt from Anne Frank's diary.
Mm.
And he was basically saying to
Wow.
this commenter, like, you told on yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're the one who equated it to now, not me.
Right.
And I think that
Wow.
that example is all of the worry kind of wrapped into one with some logic. If you read this or you hear this and you think I'm talking about now, and really I'm just reading from Anne Frank's diary, that's a level of concern that we should be.
Right.
No one thinks that something like the Holocaust is going to happen. No one is like, that's definitely what's going on. I would rather overreact and be overprepared. And not have to use, like, I packed today, like we were going to be rounded up at Centennial and tear gassed and arrested. I brought a Sharpie so I could put a bail bondsman's number on my arm. I contemplated bringing milk for tear gas. I brought a change of sweatshirt and a change of shirt. I almost brought a change of pants. And I was fully ready for you to only be able to see my nose.
Yeah.
And that wasn't what was needed. Is the backpack a little heavy and irritating to carry? Yes. Would I rather carry a heavy backpack that I didn't need? Absolutely yes.
Yeah.
So I think that you can't over-prepare for something like this, especially if you're in that community. And if you are out protesting, like, no matter if it's organized or permitted or not, it's still a risk. I think everybody has to assess that risk. It's a much higher risk for someone like you or Adam to go to jail. And back when we were in 2020 protesting about George Floyd, they would say, like, white bodies to the front.
Yep.
Which, as a white person, the first time you hear that, you're like, oh shit, they really do mean that. Like,
right.
But realistically, you are less likely to get shot. Like, in this scenario, someone like me, it's much better for me to get arrested than it is for someone like you or Adam to get arrested.
Yeah.
Some immigrant to get arrested.
Yep, that's the truth.
Like, you know, there comes to a point where you have to kind of put up or shut up. Yeah. And that was another thing that I saw that just said, what you say you would do during slavery or during the Holocaust, you should be doing that now. So, like, if you're one of those people that's like, well, I would have spoken out about slavery, I would have spoken out about the genocide and the Holocaust. Okay, do that now.
Yeah.
Do it now. Do whatever you would do then, do it now.
Right.
And so, as somebody who has an amount of privilege, you know, white privilege, kindergarten teacher looking privilege, cisgender privilege, like, this is the time to use it.
Yeah.
If you feel like you can. And realistically, you're less at risk than everybody else. So you should.
Yeah.
And I think it is absolutely coming down to a put up or shut up. Because there's been so much talk by so many people. And I'm not saying that everybody can take off work on a Wednesday. Like, I'm fortunately in this very moment unemployed, so I can come and do this. But if you can do it, you should be doing it. Because it's not going to get bigger and grow if we don't show up.
Well said. Well said. Yeah, and Adam and I have talked about this a lot, especially a community as small as the trans community and other underrepresented communities as well. But especially the tininess of the trans community, our voices alone, we're like little mice shouting into the void. You know, we need you and all our other allies. You know, we need, and in fact, I love the number of different topics that are being covered in this protest, because it's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. All of it impacts everybody. And so it's really important that we have all these voices.
It absolutely does. We're back at the Capitol now. You want to see what it looks like?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, hold on. I don't know how to flip the camera on his phone. There's got to be a way to do this. No, maybe not.
I don't know.
You know, he has an Android, so
I
I
know.
don't even know what to say about that. But here we
Heathen.
go. I'm gonna try. Can you see?
Oh, wow. Okay. Holy cow. And where's Adam
Yeah.
at? Are we able to see his... Yep, there he
You
is.
see Yep.
I'm wondering, is there any chance you might be able to squeeze up into him and see if
Yeah,
you
let
can...
me switch with him. Let me. I would love to not be the face of whatever is happening on this live right now.
I so appreciate you chatting with us, though. It meant a lot having somebody
Oh, absolutely.
give us the perspective of what's going on down there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let me trade with him and give you him back.
All right.
All
Yeah, so anybody that's joining us right now, we are live at the Georgia Capitol here in Atlanta, and Adam's back. We were marching with...
All right, hold on, I'm almost back.
You're okay, I'm just chatting. We were marching with Bree, and Bree took us from Centennial Park back to the Capitol. We got a lot of really good perspective from her.
Your right goes in your right, and your left goes in your left.
What we're hearing from the crowd over there, so I wasn't sure if he was talking to me or not. Adam, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh,
I've got my earphones in the right ears.
Oh, perfect.
So, yeah, it's picking up some steam. There's a lot more people.
I'm seeing that. That looks amazing. So you were holding that flag, helping lead the way. How was that?
Good. Yeah, me and the guy with the Palestine flag. So I think that's fitting.
I was just saying to Bree and anybody that's watching that it's such a cool thing and so important that you have folks who are coming together on all of these disparate topics, or seemingly disparate topics, where it's all the same thing. It's all humanity. It's all human rights. It's all taking care of each other. It is so important that we do this together, because every little thing that's being decided on woo! Every little thing that's being decided on impacts everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, it affects us all. You know, none of these things is benign, no matter how small. And this, like, brings that home, right?
Yeah. So I've been hearing some chanting. What have you been hearing folks saying?
So, can we understand that one? So here was clear, and we want Donald out of here.
Oh, Donald. There it is. Yep.
Yeah.
I love this. Like, the energy is contagious.
Yeah. I'm kind of impressed that we picked up this many people on the way to the Capitol.
Yeah.
To who?
That's him, the bald guy right over there.
Yeah. Okay.
Independent reporter.
Okay.
Adam's been over there introducing himself to the press, which is great. We need folks to know that we exist, so that if they need a resource, we can do that.
I got my QR code stickers for Trans Stories, so I've been giving those out.
Excellent.
We'll do our best to do as vocal as we can.
Yeah.
I think the guy from CNN asked what exactly it is that we do, and I told him flat out, that's changing.
Yep.
The world is changing, right? We've got to figure out how to fight this. So
Yeah.
We'll figure that out together.
You want to show us some of the posters that are out there now that y'all aren't really moving?
Sure. We're not really moving. So let's see. We got a lot of stop fascism. That's cool.
I was like, wait, I know that sign.
Yeah, right. I made that sign. But yeah, a lot of fascists. You can't really see the big banner up on the street, up on the fence line.
Bree showed it to us earlier. The Trump equals fashion. Fascism. Yeah. Got no Musk, no Project 2025.
Oh, they don't want us on the Capitol anymore? I'm probably gonna make them make me move. What do you think? I don't
Well,
know.
we're gonna have to move several of you.
They'll have to move several of us. Huh?
The public sidewalk.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think the take home really is just the fascism of it, and I think everybody's just scared of the overall takeover. A lot of anti-Trump, a lot of anti-Musk. Not enough trans rights for my love, but I'm biased.
I'll say for what it's worth, behind you with Bree, we heard a lot of chanting for
Okay,
queer
good,
rights.
good.
Yeah, there was.
Maybe
So
it
there
was
definitely
just where I
was.
was.
Yeah,
Maybe it's just where I was. So
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
yeah. You were being like Papa Duck out front, and all the little ducklings behind you were chanting.
Yeah, I mean, apparently it's a good thing that I now keep your flagpole in my car because
Yeah.
I can do this whenever I want.
Yeah, there's never a bad time for a flag. I think is what
There's
we've
never
learned.
a bad time for a flag. That's true.
Yeah. So now that you've been there for, I don't know, how long has this been going on? Like a couple hours, hour and a half.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Like, how's this event make you feel?
It makes me feel less hopeless. I think that we've talked a lot in the last week or so just about how overwhelming it all is, especially for the trans community. Like, we know this level of fear and danger, we've seen it, and it's hard to get that out of your person, right? In your somatic system. So our guts go straight there. This is healing in the way that we know that we're not alone. And we've been saying that. We know that, but to really understand that in your brain.
It's a different thing to see that you're not alone physically than to just sort of like know that the people are out there. Something Bree said that I thought was really important is, she was saying, as we're watching all these folks coming together, and it's just individuals. It doesn't appear to be like particularly organized organization.
It is not at all.
And
it's just like us, right?
Right.
Give me time and space, and let's show up.
Right, and that's amazing. And then imagine when we're able to be more coordinated with the PFLAGs of the world, with the all the other smaller organizations around town.
I mean, I guess that's what I keep saying, and we're trying to figure out how to fight the fight. So this is the beginning, and we'll find all those little groups and bring them all together, hopefully.
Yeah, I love it. So for anybody that is joining us live right now, Adam is at the Capitol in Atlanta, Georgia. At the protest, there are protests going around at all 50 capitals today that are supposed to be happening. Really around everything that the current administration is getting up to. The executive orders, the illegal access to data without credentials, all sorts of stuff.
Can you hear her? You probably can't. What I've learned is that we need a better megaphone. Yeah, we need to. The group needs to invest in a better megaphone. But other than that, we're rocking.
You know what? We can bring we can bring our speaker, our TransJoy speaker.
And the microphone next time.
We'll just put it in a wagon.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, because we got a couple mics.
I think they might be trying to get us to disperse a little.
So you're reconvening, it sounds like?
I'm not sure exactly. The capital people that we're helping.
Sounded like you might be getting asked to cross the street or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it sounds like it. You out, buddy? You out? Yeah.
So, Adam, would you be able to get us a little bit of a wide shot of what we're seeing here? And
Yeah, once I cross the street, I'll be able
yeah,
to
cool.
do that.
Yeah, so that we can take a clip of it and share it around and show what an awesome showing there's been here in Atlanta. So again, for anybody joining us live, this is the Georgia state capitol here in Atlanta. Adam is protesting with a number of, I mean, it looks like probably a couple hundred folks at this point.
Really appreciate it. Absolutely. Really appreciate it.
Protesting all sorts of, essentially all the things that the administration is doing currently. And yeah, it's they started with, it sounded like less than 50 people, and now they're up to a couple hundred. Picking people up as you go.
100%. So here we want this again. So yeah.
It's a little contingent over there.
And now we're all kind of on this side of the street. So yeah, it's a decent amount of people that have.
Man, that's
when
great.
we got here, there were maybe 40 people here. So this is pretty great. And now you can see the Trump people back.
Yeah. You know, the other thing we need to have put in your car is like one of those camera sticks.
Yeah, I definitely need that.
Yeah. But now we know.
So. Yeah.
If you're going to be out marching, this is a good day for it. It's not too hot or cold.
We just gotta. There's some people that are taking up the crosswalk, which is a little bit, one step too far.
Yeah.
For this group right now.
Yeah.
And refusing to move. So.
Yeah. When you don't have protection of a permit.
Yeah, they can get arrested if they want to. Yeah. But there is a way to just peacefully come together and protest.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you know, when y'all were marching, apparently somebody in a truck on the street.
Yeah, it's not good. Now the Free Palestine folks are sitting in the crosswalk, so that could be dangerous. Yeah, don't be stupid.
Is that a fire alarm?
No, just go home. Yeah.
Not ideal.
We went over there to try and de-escalate, and if anybody can de-escalate it, it's free. So yeah, we were very peaceful and very positive. We gotta go.
You said Bree went over there to de-escalate?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta think about everybody and everybody's cause when we're doing these kinds of things, you know. Because that only gets. Yeah. Next time we'll have permits and we can do things like that.
That's right.
Safely do those kinds of things. Yeah. So we're good.
You want to make sure
we're good.
You want to make sure you've got the right kind of protection and the right kind of.
Yes. We got to fight smart.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. But
so Adam, as you've done this, like what's your biggest takeaway today?
You can protest, but when your privilege is louder and your ego is louder than your fear for the people who you're supposedly protesting for,
yes,
you're in the wrong spot.
Yes.
Which is what I said. I was like, look, what you're doing, although admirable, is putting everyone that is standing to the sidelines at risk. Your white privilege does not give you the right to put all of these people, queer people, the elderly, disabled people, people of color, people who have questionable immigration statuses, putting them at risk is not allyship.
Yes.
So
Yep.
that is a fine use.
Well said.
Yeah. Well
Well
said.
said.
Thank you, Bree.
Yeah.
See, if anybody can de-escalate, it's Bree.
Yeah. That's why.
And say it. I mean, use your privilege to say the privilege. Yeah.
That was. Tell her that was kindergartner teacher privilege.
Centering yourself is not it.
No. That is not how. That's not how it works.
Earlier, she was saying she has kindergarten teacher privilege, and that feels like she just exercised it.
Yeah, I think Bree said she was going to get the biggest cheeseburger as we've been back and forth from the Capitol.
Hills.
I know.
The Atlanta Hills.
You know, you don't think about it really, that Atlanta's full of hills until you're doing this.
Yeah,
So,
that's exactly right. Yeah. So we were talking about like what you feel like your biggest takeaway
I'm
might be
noticing.
today.
yeah, we're
Like
getting.
not just physically there, but they're circling and circling.
They are circling. The police are
And they
circling.
opened up the gate up there.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of police up at the Capitol gate.
Yeah. Show us what you're seeing.
You see them up there getting and the cops are.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Now. Yeah, I can see it now.
But there's a lot of the reporters here. There's a lot of cameras here, so I don't feel unsafe.
Yeah.
So
Good.
there is, and we will obviously, not obviously, but we may leave that situation. We'll see.
Yeah.
And there's Bree taking a picture of us.
So again, for anybody joining us right now, Adam is at the state capitol around the country. Every state capitol is seeing protests today, or at least that was the plan. And Adam is here with a very, very diverse group of folks who are protesting essentially
Yeah.
the administration and all of its actions. And it's a pretty impressive sight.
It is a pretty impressive sight. It is. I'm not really sure why the state troopers are here, but we'll see. But yeah, and I guess I'd just say, I mean, I don't know, where are we on YouTube?
Yeah.
At the moment? Yeah. You know, for anybody that wanted to come or thought they might come and got scared, that is totally valid. My wife wouldn't let me come without someone, and I'm a 45-year-old man. And that those of us who can and who have had people fight before for us are here, and we will stand for you and with you when you're ready.
Yep.
So remember that, and that's, I guess, the take home. All of these people are going to stand and fight. Your safety has to be number one.
Yeah.
It just has to be number one.
Yeah. Your physical safety, your emotional well-being.
Your emotional safety, for
of
sure,
that.
which is not easy.
We've talked
Yeah, for
before in the podcast about how it takes all sorts of folks to keep a movement going. Some of those folks need to be loud and up on the front lines. Some of those
Stay
folks
out of
need
the
to be
media. Yeah.
in the background crunching data. Some people, are going to be comedians. Some people are going to be doctors. So like, we need all of that. There's
Yeah.
there's no invalid way to show up and
It's probably because people are starting to need that.
there's no wrong way to show up and help the movement. We need all of the skill sets. And it's a really exciting thing to see this diverse group of folks come together, covering all number of topics, but really there for one reason, which is distaste for what the current administration is doing across a number of fronts. And that should be really telling. I think I really look forward to future events that that provide opportunity for organizations to really help each other pull more folks together and all that. You seeing helicopters? Is that what you're looking up at?
Yeah. Huh?
Oh, I was asking if you were looking at helicopters.
No, we had some helicopters where we started, and some drones where we started, which made me nervous. But then the guy that was driving the drone stood up and said, "I'm friendly." So
It's me.
it's me. It's mine. It's nobody bad.
Right.
So,
Right. Yeah. Fair enough. Well, yeah. Well, while you're there, if you wouldn't mind showing us the crowd, just that you're seeing.
Yeah. Nobody's going anywhere, which is pretty great.
Yeah.
And Bree is, of course, in front of the Capitol on the steps.
I hope Gaskins isn't watching. No.
Oh no! I mean, we're together for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
We're together for a reason.
That's right. That's right. Man, what a great event. Really heartening to see folks physically coming together in a time when it has felt like it's been hard to know. It's been hard to see people standing up right now.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Yeah.
It's, I can't remember if I was telling you or I think I was telling Bree that in the early reporting, so there were some articles that came out about this event. Just within, I don't know, I think all the reporters were trying to beat each other to the punch, and they were saying dozens of people showed up. Well, they talked about how people were protesting Elon Musk's involvement in his illegal activities within the government, of course, Trump and fascism and all that. And nothing mentioned, at least that I had initially seen, nothing mentioned anything about LGBTQ, IA+, or trans specifically. And it was really great to see. Well, and it was really great to see that that's actually not true. There was there were a lot of folks.
That's not true.
Right. There plenty of folks.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point to remember. That media is going to report on what media wants to report on, not necessarily accuracy.
That's right.
And they're going to pick and choose whatever little snippet they want to pull out. But there are people here for us. There are people here for the trans community.
Yeah.
And we're fighting. So don't forget that.
That's right. And, it's part of the reason why you have folks independently sharing what they see. And this happens, all around the world at every protest. You have individuals like us who are trying to, in real time, show you just one person's perspective of, what's going on. Because, to your point, like there's, and you've said this before, the media is motivated to, by any number of things that don't involve us. It's generally money. And so getting our stories out there is also very important.
Yeah.
And candidly, if I'm being as fair as I can with where the media is at, there's so much going on. How can they, that the whole goal of what the administration is doing is to, quote, flood the zone, as Steve Bannon said, which means you can't pay attention to everything that's going on.
Yeah, and that's, in a lot of ways, that's the scariest part, because rightfully so, like, weapons in war and all like that is important, but we can't forget about what we're doing to the trans community. We can't let that be just the rollover. And play that part of what he's doing.
Speaking of,
just crossing back and forth on the street. Say again.
So speaking of things going on around the world. Have you seen any protesters specifically tackling the USAID stuff?
I mean, not really. I think it's more there's some people with some Canadian flags and things like that. Like, I think it's more about the people than the tariff. Like we're more. It just makes sense. This kind of group, right? We'd be more concerned about the idea that we should be supporting people first. But yeah, I don't know. Like you said, where do you start?
Yeah. Well, you start where you are.
Where do you start? I don't know. You start where you are, and that's exactly right. That's why we've got transfers, so that's what we'll use and grow with.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that. Please, the Senate. You see that?
No.
Another thing that we're not talking enough about. There's no action from our
Say that again. It's a little hard to hear you.
government. Because the lack of action from our government officials in the Senate is pretty astounding. So I'm glad that person had to freeze the Senate, because I don't understand why we're not calling for forums and filibusters left and right.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like the top presence is kind of gone down a little bit, so that's good.
It was interesting how quick they were amassing when there were folks sitting in the crosswalk. I assume that's why they started. How quickly they were amassing while folks started sitting in the sidewalk. I suspect that's why they were showing up. They didn't want that to escalate. Or they were concerned about escalating.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's perfectly valid to cross the street.
All right. Well, so anybody that is joining us, Adam is out in front of the Capitol. We are the co-founders of TransJoy here in Atlanta, and Adam is representing us at the Capitol in the protest, and representing, making sure that trans rights are a part of the political conversation in a more positive way than they have been to this point. So, that's right. So he's been making his presence known there. We've got our TransJoy flag, and one of the big reasons that, at least I think that making sure we're documenting here. Let me try this again. One of the big reasons I think it's important that we document this type of thing is, as we were saying before, my quick views of what the media had covered is they totally missed any sort of commentary around, excuse me, the trans community being a part of this protest and this movement. And it's been great seeing that there's been a fairly prominent, it is a diverse group of folks, and it includes trans folks and our needs. So, and we've heard chants for, a number of topics, and queer rights were in there. And it's up to us to, one, do what we can to make sure that folks don't forget that this community matters. Those of us that can take the responsibility to step up and do that. That is trans folks and allies, and very importantly allies, because there's so few of us. And in addition to that, being able to show folks who can't be out, or who are questioning, or any number of reasons, it's important for us to be able to be seen in those spaces so that those folks know that there's a community for them and that
Yeah.
people love them and care about them.
100%.
And even though the messaging that they might be getting in their day-to-day lives, and the message they're definitely getting in their day-to-day lives is not a positive one, that we're here.
Even with
And
Georgia State, though.
oh, I love it. So things
Even the Georgia State, though.
so things in your feed are very, very pixelated. So if you want to show us something, try not to move the phone around too much, if you don't mind, just because the quality is dropped.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, no, and there's no reason for you to know that on your end. So, yeah, so Adam's out there doing the work and making sure that he's present so that our community is represented. And that's important. The other thing that Adam and I are really cognizant of is the lack of documented, or let me say it a different way, an opportunity for additional ways of documenting trans history. And we all have a little piece in, or a little responsibility in doing it if we can. So this is a little bit of a freestyle documentation of what's going on there today.
Yeah.
So Adam, you still got a bunch of folks over there? Is the crowd holding?
It's clearing out a little bit. Yeah, I'm not sure how long they were intending to stay. I think it's thinning out a little bit, but it's still going.
It's still going. I think some people are leaving and some people are coming, like they're getting off of work or whatever.
Yeah.
A little bit later.
Yeah.
Oh, funny.
What?
Trans rights are human rights.
There we go. Trans rights are human rights. 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 Yeah, so that's kind of cool. Yeah.
I love that I can hear Brie.
Yeah. Can you hear this? There you go.
That's awesome.
For filming,
Huh?
I just don't want these people to get a ticket for filming, right? If they're honking and they're filming,
Oh.
they're driving
Did you hear Bree that she's
Yeah.
worried they're going to get a ticket for using your phone and filming while they walk down?
I'm gonna bet the police are not too worried about the drivers right now.
I lost my earbuds. They ran out of juice.
Oh no. Well,
Yeah.
are you
I
able to
can
hear me,
you,
or
but
should we?
It's too loud otherwise. Let me go over here for a second.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, you're okay. It was
I'm
a
gonna go
risk.
a little bit away, and then I can. You're just on my phone now instead of my earbuds.
Yeah, I understand. It was a risk. I think
Yeah.
some lessons learned for
Yeah,
us,
but I
which
think we've documented.
yeah, I think so. I think what a couple of things we'll throw in both of our cars is a phone stick and a little microphone to just always make sure we have on
Yeah.
us.
Definitely a phone stick, and probably I need a wireless microphone.
Yep,
For sure.
yep. The earbuds. I could
But we'll get better
most.
prepared for next time. This
That's
is only
right.
the first.
Listen, we're all learning, every single one of us. So, Adam, thanks for bringing
Thanks
us.
for holding down the fort there, buddy.
Oh, we got work that I'm doing here today, so it's all gotta keep moving. And really appreciate you bringing
Yeah,
us along
yeah.
with you, and thank Bree for us. I'll make sure to do so also for hosting for a little bit with
Yeah.
me. And yeah, y'all be safe, and I love you tons.
We will. We won't be here much longer.
Okay. Let me know when
We'll
y'all.
be safe.
Yep. Let me know when y'all leave
Until
and
next
get
time.
home. Peace out, homie.
I will definitely let you know when we get home.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Bye, buddy.
I am staying on here for just a couple more minutes here. Yeah, so thanks to anybody that was watching, and thanks to anybody in the future that looks at the recording and watches it. I know can be a little bit chaotic recording live in a space like that. And so we'll continue to get better at that, because I'm sure that there will be more protests for us to cover as this administration moves on. You know, we want to make sure that we're able to broadcast live from things like the Trans March that happens in Atlanta during the Pride season. And yeah, so anyway, we've got lots of cool stuff that we're going to take from this. Your engagement matters a lot. And if there's any question about ways that you can help move the move trans folks and other marginalized communities, but specifically for this channel, trans folks forward, like our content, if you don't mind. We've got a podcast called Trans Joycast. It's right here on this channel. I think you just click on, I'm not looking at the site right now, but you just click on the playlists part of our account or our page, and you'll find our podcasts. I actually am wrapping up editing one today for publication, hopefully this evening. And so there'll be a new one out here for y'all shortly. Follow us on Transjoy USA on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok. We're working on our presence on TikTok as well. And yeah, so really appreciate y'all. Give us a little love online, and keep your trans friends and family, if you're an ally, in your thoughts, and not just in your thoughts, but check in on them, see how they're doing. I know that I can say for me, it's been a rough couple of weeks for a handful of reasons. And it matters when folks check in on you and pay attention to the news, and ask your folks how they're doing within the context of that. So anyway, love you all. Thank you for joining us, and we will be back in your inboxes here with a podcast shortly. Take care.